Okay, so now it's time to set up your business policies. These business policies determine how you're going to accept payments, what your returns are going to be like, and how quickly you're going to ship your items. Now, unfortunately, for new sellers, eBay kind of hides these policies, makes it hard for you to get to them and change them. So I've included a link that you can click, and it should take you right to this page after you sign in. So let's first go over the payment policy, since that's first on my list. You should see at the top where it says payment, edit. If you don't, just click where it says create new policy and click on payment. Now the first thing you want to do is give your policy a name. I just call this whatever it is at the top and then write in all capitals default. That way I know whenever I look at it that this is the default payment policy. The policy description doesn't really matter. That's just for your own internal use. And I always click off the box that says set as default payment policy. You want to make sure you check off the box that says PayPal. That way people can pay you via PayPal, because most buyers on eBay are going to want to pay you using PayPal. Then enter here your PayPal email address. That is the email address you use when you set up PayPal. There's a box here that says require immediate payment when buyer uses buy it now. If you check this off, then the only way a buyer can buy something from you is if they pay for it right away. And I leave this unchecked. Although it's annoying to have someone buy an item and then wait several days to pay for it or never to pay for it at all, I find that leaving the box unchecked does get me more sales, so I've left it unchecked. And that's the only thing I check off, and then I just click save. Now let's go ahead and set up our shipping policies. So again, click edit next to where it says shipping, or click create policy and click shipping policy if you don't have one yet. So again, I'm going to name this one default so that I know that this is my default shipping policy. I'm going to ignore where it says description. Under US shipping, I always select same cost to all buyers, because the cost to your buyers is always going to be free. So make sure to check off this box that says free shipping. Giving your buyers free shipping really helps increase sales, because buyers think it's a good deal and they want to take advantage of free shipping. Everyone loves it. So make sure to have that box checked off. And under services, I always select standard shipping 1 to 5 business days. That way you're not being tied down to using USPS, FedEx, or UPS. It gives you more options because you don't know what your source is going to use. So I always select standard shipping 1 to 5 business days. Now you have to select your handling time. This is how long between when the buyer places the order and when you're going to ship it out. Now obviously you don't have too much control over this. This is how fast your source is going to ship it out. So I always select 3 business days. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer. If you have a source that you know takes a long time, then go ahead and select 4 business days. But going over 3 business days is usually not recommended. And I never go under 3 unless I know it's a really reliable and fast source, such as Amazon.com. But in general, I leave it on 3. For international shipping, I always select send it to the US shipping center, and the rest will be taken care of for you. This is how you opt into eBay's global shipping program, which we will talk about later. But just know it's a really smart idea to check that box off. And then I always select no alternative international shipping. And finally, you do want to exclude some locations from your shipping abilities. So I always check off this box and click off edit exclusion list. I select the first 3 under domestic, so I don't ship to Alaska, Hawaii, the US Proctorates, or APO. And then I also don't ship to PO boxes, because the only carrier that ships to PO boxes are the United States Postal Service. So FedEx and UPS won't deliver to these locations. And sometimes your sources only ship via FedEx or UPS. So make sure that box is checked off, and then click apply and then save. Finally, we have to set up our return policy. So again, select edit next to return or create a new return policy. Again, I'm going to call this one my default and check off where it says default return policy. Ignore where it says policy description. under return policy, you want to accept returns. So this will allow your customers to return the items if they don't like them. Now, if you leave it as no returns accepted, you're going to get less sales guaranteed. So leave it as returns accepted. And also know that even if you don't accept returns, if the item arrives damaged, or if it's the wrong item, or if it arrives too late, they're going to have the ability to return it anyway. And so they're just going to lie and make up a reason to return it. So you might as well just accept returns anyway. This is how long they have to return it if they just don't like it. So I always leave it at 30 days. As a new seller though, I highly recommend you only do 14 days until you get a better idea of how long your source takes items back for. But I, as an advanced seller, leave it at 30 days. Select money back for the next one. And return shipping will be paid by I always select buyer. So what this means is that if the buyer purchases it and doesn't like it, that is buyer's remorse, they're going to have to pay to ship it back. If the item arrives damaged or not as described, even if you have buyer selected here, you're still going to have to pay to ship it back. Just be aware of that. And I always select a 20% restocking fee. I've experimented with different restocking fees, and I found that it doesn't matter whether I have one or I don't have one. It doesn't change my sales, so I might as well have one. And again, this is only going to apply in cases of buyer's remorse, not if you have an item not described or an item arrived damaged. Then just click Save and Confirm, and you are all finished with your business policies.